All right, shalom, shalom. Now, before I continue on with this lesson, of course, I would like to give all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Chakwadash. Give a double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, and salutations towards you, hopeful elect. It's been sincerely pushing the truth. Now, I'm the brother Zachariah, coming at you from the GMS Campbell and the church. And as you can see, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, again, that the whole world is newly called God Jesus Christ. For those who don't know, I'm back at it again with another lesson. Now, as far as today's lesson, it was inspired by the brother Kalaya. And, shalom to that brother Kalaya as well, because he been dropping a lot of very, very important, articles and screenshots like this, as you can see on the screen. So without further ado, we're going to get right into this. So it says, the Spectator Index, it says, breaking. Trump to push for 1 year imprisonment for anyone caught burning the American flag. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. It says breaking. Trump to push for 1 year imprisonment for anyone caught burning the American flag. Now, as we know, according to different sources, different medias, what's going on the news, there's a lot that has been going on throughout America, which is Babylon the Great, for those who don't know, according to the scriptures, according to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah, that the whole world is newly called God Jesus Christ. Okay? There's a lot been going on over here in Babylon the Great, a lot of riots, a lot of protests, okay? Things as such. So, of course, you have another way of our adversary, okay, the devil, or the enemy, Esau Edom, because he is the enemy of our story, for those who don't know. All right, these group of people who are oppressing us today. Of course, they are starting to show more and more horns. But at the same time, we've been telling you, according to prophecy, according to what the Bible has been, basically, according to what is written, we've been coming at you from the Bible, okay, that these things is going to happen. All right, so let's get right to the scriptures. First off, this is Job 9, verse 24, and it reads, The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, so the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It's not given into the hand of the, delegate, someone who knows how to rule, someone who knows patience, someone who knows the, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, who loves them, things of such. All right, we're not being ruled in righteousness right now, okay? We're going to be ruled in righteousness when Yahweh Shai come back, when he returned to establish righteousness 100% throughout the whole earth. Okay, but before then, before that happened, you do have Esau Edom, who's been given the piracy. Okay, we're reading it. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So if this not the same devil, all right, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, the enemy, all right, and we see their tactics. They do stuff like this. We just read it from the Spectator Index, okay? They're going to continue to make up more and more laws to push more and more Israelites away. They're going to create more and more delusions just to come against the nation of Yasharallah, which is the paleo way of saying Israel. Okay, he is the prince of the power. Okay, remember, Jacob is one of our forefathers, and later on he got his name changed to Israel. Okay, so we are the Hebrew Israelites. We are his descendants, for those who don't know. And we see the enemy, he's being consistent as far as his craftiness. He's being consistent as far as his witchcraft and creating up bullshit. BS, man. So it says Trump to push for 1 year imprisonment for anyone caught burning the American flag. I get it. All right. And newsflash, don't be doing that. If you happen to come across this video and you feel the need to do this, don't do it, because the scriptures, says, agree with thy adversary. So let's go back, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Well, he's revealing himself every single day. He's showing his horns. All right. You have that term in the world when an individual is showing their true colors. Well, guess what? He's showing his true red color, his true red wicked way, his mannerism, his characteristics, his vibration to come down on us, man. And that's why Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah, again, that the whole world inwardly called God Jesus Christ, is going to come back to deliver first his elect, okay, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, so on and so forth. So let's go back to my notes right here. I have some more precepts. Let's get Matthew 5:25. Give me one sec. This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 25, and it's in red, so this is the Lord speaking. And it reads, agree with thine adversary quickly, without second thought. Now, there are some situations to where you might have to put more thought into others, but when you find yourself jammed up in a little situation, for example, you're getting pulled over and you receive that citation, man, don't do nothing crazy. Don't be getting all loud, recording and like Jay be doing. They be saying, Black Lives Matter. Well, Black Lives Matter. Why the hell y'all still killing each other? I mean, damn, man. Okay? But that's another topic for another lesson. Let's go back to verse 25. Agree with thine adversary. Matthew 5:25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Yeah, man. So what that sound like? Okay. Do I have to hit Jake in the back of the head and say, hey, wake up? Do you know what that sounds like? Because we all have a form of imagination, right? You guys imagining America continuing on. Well, imagine this. This is a prime example on agreeing with your adversary. So you want to get cast into prison. You want to get tossed to jail. Or it won't cost you your soul, your life. So yeah, you might have some ups and downs. Yeah, it might hurt. Yeah, you might be frustrated. But have a level of self-control and understanding that that's just the way it is over here. Because we ain't going to have none of these officers and bull, that BS in the kingdom, man. Police officers and stuff like that. And all these other weirdo tactics that try to do to make you pay this, that, and the third, or to fuck your life over. Give you parking tickets. But that's the name of the game. That's how it is over here. I'm going to get on 1 Peter 5:8. It's 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, the deceiver, the one who's very, very deceptive in his lies and his witchcraft and his craftiness, the same individual that you guys trust and love so much, the so-called self-proclaimed white man. And it's not a color thing, all right? There's Edomites amongst us, and they look black as hell. How about that? Okay? It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil. Let's look at this word, adversary. The devil, okay? So there's an adversary, and he's known as the devil. Let's get it. Jake can't spell. Let me go back. Still spelled that wrong. It's the word adversary. It's a noun, and it says unfriendly opponent, enemy. So who's the enemy towards you? So-called black people. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, so-called Uruguayans, so-called West Indians, so-called Argentinians. All right, so on and so forth. The 12 tribes. Who's your enemy, man? Is it really Jake? Is it really the so-called Negro who's really giving you all this hell? Is it really the so-called Mexicans? Is it really so-called, I know our people are cursed, but the main opponent, the main man is the enemy. Esau. Big E. Okay, Big E. So it says enemy. It says hostile opponent, enemy, or directly from Latin adversaries. It says an opponent, rival, enemy. It says opponent, hostile, contrary. Yeah, contrary. Okay, it's like you. It says turn toward one, turn toward, fronting, facing, adverse, unfavorable, hostile. So we get the point right now. Okay, I'm pretty sure if this guy was really favored, everybody wouldn't be hating on one another, and this would have been a kingdom of peace. But it would never be a kingdom of peace without the Lord. And especially if, man, look, as long as these Edomites are in rulership, ain't no peace, man. There ain't no peace. Okay, let's get it. Going back to 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant. Yeah, man, have a level of clarity. Okay? Through wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. Be vigilant. Stay consistent. Keep your dignity. Be on point. Because what? It says, because your adversary, all right, our opponent, which is the enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Yeah, man. Okay? He's searching you. Look what's going on, especially with a lot of northern kingdoms. And you heathens not exempt. So like, yeah, I gotta say, for you heathens, you're not exempt because they breaking in your houses, coming to get you too, and sending you back to your land or camp, whatever they got going on, man. Okay? So let's get it, man. This is let me see something right quick. I had something on my spirit because it says seeking whom he may devour in verse 8. What is he really going to devour us with? Okay? Remember, the scripture says he's going to come down with great wrath. Okay? Let me get this verse. It's Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. All right? This man has something very, very great in his heart towards us through his perpetual hatred and his wrath. Okay? Simply, anger. All right? So our opponent, which is our enemy, he's angry. All right? And his anger towards us is very, very great. And when the time comes, he's going to come down harder and harder with that great anger. And he's going to use those tactics, though, through his anger, different tactics, okay, through his laws, all right, through his blessing, through his wisdom. You get where I'm coming from? It says, going back to verse 12, Revelation 12 and 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, okay, and of the sea. And remember earlier in Job 9, the same earth was given into the hand of the wicked, all right, which is the devil, this old serpent. Continuing on, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. A short time for what? A short time for what? To push out all his AI? To tell the whole world about aliens? Or something like that? Why do you... What would the enemy, okay, would be thinking about that he knows that he has a short time in? His rulership. This the same devil that's ruling over us. This is the same wicked man that the earth was given into the hand of. Trash everywhere. It stink outside. Okay? GMO foods is literally on every block. Okay? Different people come over here to serve their gods. All types of stuff, man. So you tell me who it is. Let's go back. I got that Revelation 12. I mentioned something earlier about this guy. Let me get this Isaiah 10 right quick. This is Isaiah 10. Start from the top. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, okay? Yeah, man. Which is a form of an order or a law, okay? Everything about this place, they pump out BS. This right here is BS. It's like, I understand it. Okay, I get it. But we know who is this towards. Mainly. Okay? And let's not get it twisted. You so-called liberals and red people, white, I'll say white. Red people and blue people. Look, Democrats and Republicans, all right? Man, if you get caught, any of you, this will happen to you. That's why I said earlier, use wisdom. Agree with thy adversary for those who believe in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, man. Everybody's so driven with their emotions. Everybody's so driven with the tension in the room, and then want to do things in their own eyes and in their own ways. You know what I'm saying? Just simply use wisdom. The elect is going to use wisdom. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Yeah, he's telling y'all to go back to your homeland, all types of stuff. Okay? Here it is when this guy got elected. I'm talking about going all the way back to 2017. Okay, that run. And I'm talking about DJ Trump, man. He went to South America with a bag of toilet tissue, hooping with y'all, throwing the tissue in the crowd. If you don't believe me, look up President Trump throwing tissue. That's all you got to put, okay? But this is the same man who's coming down on you now and sending you back to your so-called homeland. But a lot of you people don't want to believe in the Lord. You see how you see now? We'll go to the scriptures and show you his real name. We tell you his real name in the pure language. Show you try to show people, what's up when it comes to the scriptures. But people don't want to listen. People want to talk all this bullshit, BS, and they get what they get. Okay? Let me get Genesis right quick. That's what I wanted. Genesis, where Esau got his blessing. I think it's a little farther back. Give me a second. Let's go to the search bar. Go right to the point. I am Esau. Sit and eat of my venison. Give me a sec, man. Esau got his blessing in Genesis 27 chapter, I believe. I'm just trying to find it. Jacob's blessing. Hold on. I'm gonna read this right quick. This is Genesis 27 and 32. Because this is how the enemy that I was just harping on, this is how he received his blessing. So everything that he knows, everything that was given unto him, he's being very, very abusive. And he's doing it through his crooked nature. All right. So this is Genesis 27 and 32. And it reads, and Isaac, his father, said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that have taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed. All right, so what went on, of course, Jacob received the blessing first, but he kind of covered himself. He was acting as if he was Esau. I ain't going to get in deep into it. You know, if you want to read it, just read Genesis the 27th chapter, okay? But we're reading about Esau right now, okay? He came after Jacob's blessing. So after Jacob got blessed, here come Esau. So here go verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. But see, this was all set up through the spirit, okay? Because Esau wasn't going to get chosen anyway, all right? The Lord don't make mistakes. These stories, see, when we go back and read these different accounts and stuff, the scripture says what? Everything that was written aforetime was written for our learning. We're supposed to get this stuff and grow in it. As far as it's beneficial. The Lord ain't going to show you anything to really, like, it be your downfall. Nah, man. Okay? Esau wasn't going to get the blessings anyway. And the previous chapter, I believe Esau, he hated his blessing anyway. He saw his blessing for some meat, man. Some raw meat. Some red, uncooked meat. Okay? So, verse 36, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? Which, you know, Yaquab in the Hebrew. Okay? Yaquab. All right, to supplant, because if you read the previous chapter, Jacob finessed the hell out of Esau, man. I mean, that was all set up through the spirit, and also a beautiful story. Okay, to hell with these Edomites. Continuing on, it says, for he have supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he have taken away my blessing. He said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Jacob, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Esau, see, these Edomites, come on, man, look at them. They be crying. They're some crybabies, man. Okay? When they don't get their way, they go to their, they revert to their true natural self, to be carnal. And then them being carnal, it's like a strange, it ain't normal. They ain't normal, man. But anyway, continuing on. It says, and Isaac his father, this verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword, remember that sword. Okay, let me hold this right quick. Hold on, so I won't forget. Verse 40. And by thy sword thou shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And who is Esau's brother? Jacob. Okay, and that he's Jacob. Jacob is Esau's younger brother. I meant to say. Excuse me. Continuing on to verse 40. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. Do he not have the dominion right now? What's a dominion? Okay. I know I just typed this word, but hey, it is what it is. Hold on, man. Dominion, lordship, sovereign or supreme authority. dominion, rule, power. Weren't power, rulership, and all that was given to Esau? Look around you. Look at this world we live in. Who's ruling this whole world right now? Is it Asian people? So-called Asians? Is it Big Mama? Black people? Spanish people? Hispanics? However you want to put it? Yeah, I said it. No, man. Esau has a dominion. And that's his true name. Okay? Which he runs away from all the time. Let's get it. Genesis 27 and verse... Let me see where I left off at. Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off his neck. From off thy neck, excuse me. Look at this term, yoke. What is a yoke? It says, contravents, if I pronounce that right, for fasting a pair of drive animals. It's like a device. It's a something you put on your over your neck, basically. But anyway, it says especially oxen. Let me go down a little bit. It says to join, heavy burden, oppression, servitude, yoke, servitude. Who are we servitude towards? Okay, these so-called white people, the true biblical Edomites, and they're going to do servitude towards us. You are what you eat. You're going to reap what you sow. It says to yoke, join together. Okay, so let's go back. Verse 40. It says that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. I'm talking about full of bad intentions. That's why Esau has got to get out of the power sheet. But that's pretty much all I had. Hopefully whoever tuned in within this lesson, hopefully this lesson was edifying to you. So first and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Chakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, and salutations towards you hopeful elect. It's been sincerely pushing this truth. Shalom.